I almost waited 3 years to ask one question related to feminism because of your side note.
I don't know. Should we get started?
You said that even at the time of the Prophet, even his mother had some help or kanis or servants to help her with the chores, and I get that, and that's absolutely true and correct. But the reason that some of the scholars, I mean, in their lifestyle, they just try to somehow convey this message that the woman should just stay at home, or, is the tradition and the narrations that we have already. For example, I just want to quote this one from Imam Ali in the Nahj al-Balagha, the Wisdom 136. The striving jihad of a woman is to be good and devoted wife. I do not want to sound and categorize as a misogynist. I just wanted to make a case here. Sorry.
I don't know. Should we get started? With all respect to men, any women can understand why it is said that sometimes dealing with the husband is a jihad. Of course, that's first of all, that saying is with respect to warfare. It's about men go to do military warfare and women don't in that paradigm. Of course, keeping in mind in the pre-Islamic Arabia, there were a lot more female warriors, as we know, and even during some of the battles, there's like Nusayba, for example, there were still women who went out and fought. So this idea that women should not be on the battlefield appears to have taken a little bit of time to develop among Muslims and really be fully accepted. But of course, historically speaking, most warriors have been men. But apart from my being facetious and pointing that out, even that phrase is not about like housework or child rearing. If you look at most of the discussions about being a wife in the pre-modern literature, it's not about the household chores, it's about the man's physical rights to his wife. And the whole fiqh is built on that. Like, she can't go out because that interferes with his right, maybe, or, these sorts of things. It's really only in about the 1800s or 1900s that we start to get this idea that the good woman is, for example, cooking. And there's nothing wrong with cooking. I like cooking. But what I'm saying is it's a different set of social values. And in fact, less emphasis on some of the other aspects of the marriage. And I do think this is probably a reaction to, let's just keep it real, British colonialism and the sort of Victorian ideals of that time, even though, of course, the rich Victorians had servants too. But the ideals of, I did say Protestant intentionally because there is this sort of greater emphasis on labor and work. I mean, like physical work, not birthing here, like physical labor, especially in Protestant cultures. And I think, in the Orientalist dialogue between West and East, there was sometimes the allegation that the Easterners are lazy and sensual and these sort of things. So there was a sort of response from Muslims to be like, no, we're not. And, we work very hard and our women are doing all the house chores better than the Westerners. And then when it became more common for women to work for pay outside in the West, eventually, and go to university eventually, which frankly, even in my mother's time, it wasn't really normal, but, eventually it became common. Then you have the response to that no, Islam is, it's basically a tension between sort of the push of whatever the dominant Western values were at the time and Muslim responses. I think that's more reflective of modernity, whereas the pre-modern views, I don't think like domestic chores were glorified in the past because it's just hard work. Like laundry by hand is hard work. It was great if you do it, and there is like some hadith praising like the women who work for the house because it's hard work, but it's not like this is the main ideal.